Hey, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about an LBO. Now, I don't know if you watched wrestling a few years ago, well, more than a few years ago. I suppose it was about 10-20 years ago, and you had the NWO, the New World Order. But in this instance, we're going to be talking about an LBO, which stands for leveraged buyout. Now, what is a leveraged buyout? As the name suggests, it's using leverage, the company as leverage to buy it out. What do I mean by that? Well, to use an example, say you were looking to buy a property or a house. Typically, what you would do, you would raise or pay a little bit of a deposit, and then you would leverage the property itself to raise the rest of the payments in the form of a mortgage. So you put down 10 grand, and you get together 120 grand, whatever, depending on the price of the property, from the bank, using the property itself to get that money. The same principle applies with business. You can actually use the assets of a business to raise financing to purchase it, and this is a method which is very common in America, and it's starting to become very common here in the UK. Really made it big in the 80s when RJR Nabisco was bought out. The book regarding that ordeal is called Barbarians at the Gate. But essentially, just to give you a really quick example as to how it works in a very simplified manner, say you want to buy a business for £1 million. You can now negotiate with the seller and say to the seller, look, I will give you the £1 million, but I'm going to pay you 300 grand every year for the next 3 years. So at the end of the first year, you're paying 300 grand. At the end of the second year, you're paying 300 grand. And at the end of the third year, you pay him another 300 grand. And you actually pay him using the profits of the company itself. So, you're not raising any financing there, you're not putting any money from your own pocket, you're literally running the company, making a profit, and then paying the seller from that profit. So that leaves us with the first initial payment of 100 grand, and you can raise that payment in itself by using the assets of that target company. So they'll have some kind of inventory, land or receivables. You use them to raise financing, to raise the 100 grand. You give that to the seller at the start, and like I said, then you pay the remaining amount on deferred payment basis during the following years. And that's essentially how you buy a $1 million company using no money whatsoever. So this strategy is quite common. It does work. I know a lot of people doing it, a lot of people that have been successful doing it. But in my experience, you are passing out on great deals by trying to buy them all for free, literally. So it's always useful to have a little bit of capital, a little bit of cash that you can put into the deal, so you can acquire great deals without trying to push through a no money down deal. However, having said that, again, you can literally buy a business doing 1 million plus without using any of your own money whatsoever. But the conception is that if you want to buy a £1 million company, you need £1 million. No, you don't really need much money at all to buy a £1 million plus company. As I've just explained, the LBO method is a very powerful strategy to buy great businesses for not without using very much of your own capital. I hope this example was useful. If it wasn't clear, let me know. I will try to explain it again. But if you've got any further questions or comments, let me know and I will get in touch with you. Until then, take care now. Bye bye.